to another episode of the I Win Morning Show. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to it's March of 2023. I cannot believe it. It is March of 2023, y'all, and we are back. So welcome to March. I gotta start by saying it's the colors again. I think it's giving us like we're going into springtime. We making it through, but we here. The first quarter of the year is about to end, y'all. So welcome back. It's another episode of the I Win Morning Show. Tonya, Dr. Dani, love you guys. It's good to see you on this Monday. Starting off.
Dr. Dani said the Monday is a Monday, and honey.
Monday is Monday.
It's Monday, and for me too. I woke up late.
Me too.
It has been a Monday morning. It has been a Monday morning, y'all.
It was just Friday yesterday.
Like 5 minutes ago, it was just Friday, and I was like, I can lay down and rest.
Baby, 5 minutes ago was 2023. Mm-hmm. That was 5 minutes ago.
You're right. You are right. But welcome back, y'all. Listen, we are happy to be here. Like, share this conversation out with others, everybody on YouTube and our other platforms. Thank you for tuning in. It is Monday, y'all, and we got some motivation to bring y'all. We are ready to get started. March has a lot going on. It's March Madness. Yes, 2020 was like yesterday. Time is moving by very fast. The first quarter is going, but we are making some moves.
Why do I
and the springtime is gone. I think, do we fall back? Do we get an hour back? Do we get a little bit of rest?
Next week.
Next
week. We lose an hour next week.
Is it this Saturday?
We lose an hour or we gain an hour?
We lose an hour.
Oh, man, we lose an hour. Lord.
Yes.
Lose an hour.
I'm going to bed early.
On the I Win on Monday.
Baby.
Y'all might be winning at 8:15. I'm joking.
Forward. Y'all might not be winning the 8:15, baby.
You'll be winning by yourself. That's what you'll be doing.
We motivated you enough to win on your own, honey.
Yes. Listen, everybody.
You said about transitions. I don't know why because earlier I was thinking this is the light of mine when I was trying to get my light to work. And then I don't know why I thought about the old, if you went to an old Baptist church, time is filled with swift transition. and the baritones would come in with that. Honey, I don't know why I'm taking y'all to church this morning in my mind. Yeah. And don't come for me because I know I cannot carry a two in the bucket, but I do have a nice speaking voice, so.
It was okay because time is filled with swift transition, y'all. Listen.
I could just see my grandfather singing that in the choir.
Oh, God, I love them too. Dang, I miss the deacons. I do miss the deacons. And nothing like old school deacons.
And deaconess, baby, that would have you spit that gum out in that glove, baby.
And then send you to the usher.
Tissue. Right? Look, Jason. You try to. I ain't chewing gum.
All I have been trying to hide it the best you can. Lord have mercy, help us.
No, you're going to get a whipping because your grandmama started out the choir. You're
right, they done already sent you over to the usher. They done wrote your name down, passed it and everything. But listen, guys, okay, we have sidetracked enough. Listen, we are back. We are back. We are back. Like and tag people into the conversation this morning, y'all. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We are ready. It is a cloudy day outside, but we are bringing the sunshine. Tonya has the sunshine on her head, and we have it all around and in us. Now, listen, y'all. Whew. All right, we are ready. We are ready. We are ready. I'm going to take us right into Jay's Corner on this morning. Welcome to the I Win Morning Show. Now, I will have to say, guys, listen, it's March. We are having our first walk run for the foundation this month. It's on March 23rd. I'm excited about it. It's going to be really fun. We're asking for a $25 donation. One of our board members, Leslie Davis, is going to be leading this with our team. We're super excited. She's done a couple of walks before, so she knows what she's doing. It's going to be at her studio, her and Will. We're super excited about them supporting this, but also it's our Lily's Cares program, and we are elevating healthy grands, right? Because we want grandparents, we want our children. We want everybody to be healthy. Walking and running is good for the heart. How about that Healthy Heart Coalition? See, in Jay's Corner, I'm also bringing you some health tips, right? Because the pandemic is still impacting us, and just how our hearts are really doing some very interesting things. So definitely make sure you
heart attacks. People are having heart attacks much younger than they did before COVID. That's
and more frequently.
Most prevalent things. Yeah, more frequently.
Yes.
And younger. Yeah.
So don't sleep on the heart attack, because
move that body,
it is coming back. If you have asthma, bronchitis, it's also coming back in growing numbers. So I just want to make sure that people are connected. So this is what we're doing. It's a fundraiser, but it's a fundraiser with a purpose. You guys know we party with the purpose. Our Lily's Cares program, it helps us to serve seniors and grandparents in the community outside of our caseload. So would love for you guys to come out, walk with us, run with us, get some information about how to take care of your heart. I know Ashley and some other people are going to be there to pass out information and provide resources in regards to eating healthy and what you can do to change the intake into your body and into your spirit. All right. I was going to take us to church in a minute too. But that's really everything for Jay's Corner. I'm excited about what the foundation has coming up. And I also have to say this, guys. If you are viewing this, I need you to go to the nationalparentsunion.org, join us today, or your organization can join us. We have a phenomenal town hall on tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. That's all I'm going to give you guys, nationalparentsunion.org. I'm going to be talking that up a little bit more this evening on Speak Black Man. All right, now that's it for me. I'm passing the mic right over to Dr. Dani so we can get right to Dr. Dani Speaks.
Good morning, everybody. You know, it's hard sometimes for folks who talk when they want to be silent, because the folks go, "What's wrong with you?" But anyway, that's nothing to do with the affirmation. But good morning again. And this affirmation is actually inspired by Bishop Dale C. Brunner from Word of Faith Church, my home church. And this is not really an affirmation as much as a word of encouragement. Like, I feel like it's more than an affirmation. So I want this to resonate with you. I'm going to say it real slow. God never gives you a dream that matches your budget. God never gives you a dream that matches your budget. However, He's also not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. God never gives you a dream that matches your budget. He's not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. That is the word today. Thank you.
So, Dr. Dani, you know how when people come up to the microphone and they get ready to sing and they'll say, you know, I'm not really feeling well this morning, and then when they open their mouth, they just like demolish you, and it's like, what are they?
I took it out.
So I just feel like Dr. Dani just like, what this affirmation? So you just took us all the way to church, the whole church service, and we then had some refreshments afterwards. I mean, she just gave us everything. You are absolutely right. Like, drop the mic and it's over. That was, if you missed that affirmation, you're gonna have to go back and rewind. Dr. Dani may give it to us again, but Dr. Dani's segment, y'all, this morning, it's your faith. Make sure this month of March that you bring your faith into the mix. Dr. Dani, thank you so much for those words this morning.
We went to church today. We've been in the church house.
Church, revival, Sunday school, vacation Bible school. We're gonna be in the fall festival in a minute. It's
Halloween.
We're gonna be in the homecoming. Oh man. Okay, listen, Tonya.
Yeah.
We are ready. We are ready for
Are you ready?
Tea with Tonya on the I Win Morning Show.
Good morning. You see that teacup? We're going to keep y'all in the church mood this morning, honey. Let your light shine, Matthew 5 and 16.
Yeah. You're going to have to cut the organ on in a minute.
Now listen, there's so much tea in the news. I'm gonna start off with, how did Risa Tisa make it on Good Morning America, honey?
Oh,
Yes, Robin Roberts is interviewing Risa with the Tisa this morning. And let me tell you all something. We talked about some things that COVID, how our health suffered during COVID. Let me tell you what COVID did do. COVID brought so much attention to the internet, to Beyonce's internet, and to social media, and how people have begun to influence our life, how easy it is to become noticed for good and bad things. But definitely when you have a story to tell, and we are all storytellers on this thread and in this show, when you have a story to tell and you tell your story, whatever it is, it just goes to show you the power of social media. So I'm going to say that Risa Tisa is on Good Morning America. So I did not spend all the hours listening to her and watching it on social media. I can go and look at the Robin Roberts interview and get what I need. Thank you so much. Now, in more news, what is troubling to me as we approach this election, and I'm going to say troubling to me, it's interesting that after the death of Laken Riley at Georgia State, at University of Georgia, the House is very quickly getting ready to pass some legislation based on that. And I think it is, it's interesting, all the politics at play is what I'll say. And it brings me back to the fact that we must, in this election season, get out and vote. Not saying that what they're trying to do is good or bad. I'm not going to weigh in on that. This is not a political show. But there are lots of people missing. But whenever it is certain people missing, we get to it real quick. Y'all, let me tell y'all something good that I was so proud about. My alma mater, CAU, hosted the reunion cast of A Different World. Y'all see that?
It's a different world
than where you come from. And baby, do they look good?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of water they were serving on A Different World, but baby, I was checking Glenn Turman out, and I know Papa is a little too old for me, but listen, I believe we could have a good conversation. So that is the tea with Tonya. A Different World cast reunion. I want to see what that was about and what they're up to. But they look amazing. Love it. Yeah, they look
amazing. That is exciting. That is a very great way to take us into the conversation for today. But A Different World was a game changer. Debbie Allen, we are related in some way. I'm telling you, I already know. We are going to figure that out. I do remember I want to say it was high school, we had Mr. What year was that? 10th grade. We had Mr. Wilberg, and I wrote her a letter, and I was like, Debbie Allen, I know we're related, and I'm gonna figure it out one day. Just hold on.
Write her again, Jason. It's never too late.
I ought to find that letter from 10th grade to be like, hey girl, listen.
Well, listen, I know you have it. I bet you have it. Dr. Dani, what you want to bet he still got that letter?
I know he's got it somewhere laminated too. But look, before we get into the real good stuff, we gotta get some time for Risa Tisa, because we might need Risa Tisa on this show. Risa Tisa T. I like T for Tisa. Baby. But she was on the Cameron Hall show the other day.
Yeah. Was she? I missed that.
Yeah, that was the first one she did.
Wow.
And I am guilty. I think I've gotten up to chapter 67 out of 100. I'm almost sure I'm there, but it's starting to repeat and sound the same. But I want to know who this man is. She won't give no names, no description, or nothing.
Oh, I ain't getting into that one, because they already have on the social media started trying to figure out. You know how social media works.
Who it
is. The social media sleuths are going to find out.
I'm telling you.
They are doing their best Olivia Pope work, even finding her childhood church. And I'm like, y'all, if you find a childhood church, you're going to find that one person that was like, baby, I really didn't like her anyway.
That's going to leak it. That's going to leak the tea. Somebody going to pay them enough money, and they are going to tell it. Or she going to tell it.
But you know what I'm thinking? See, this is what got me talking, right? I'm wondering at the end, she's gonna be describing everybody's man that they've dated in the past. Like it's a culmination of all the men that they've done other people wrong. I wonder if that's it. There's got to be something.
It could be.
I'm thinking.
There's a build up. But y'all, I want to. Well, go ahead. I'm not going. Yeah.
No, I mean it could also be somebody else's story that maybe they left the story for her to tell. I don't know. I mean, it is very interesting though how this is really
not somebody else's story. It could be a lie.
Yeah, it could be all 20 stories of other people. Yes.
Yeah,
it could be spending her baby. I see Tyler Perry picking her up real soon. I'm just saying.
It could be Tyler Perry. This could be his new method. I don't know. Y'all,
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm gonna reach out.
I'm very interested. Like Tyler, have the I Win Morning Show on one of the. Help us, guys, this morning.
Maybe we can have Tyler on this show.
He doesn't have time. He's right.
I mean, he does have that kind of Medea thing going. Like when she's in the car driving with the rollers in her hair talking. I'm like, yeah. But why? Okay, I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
Oh, Brian said, hey, Brian. Brian said she could get that movie deal. Oh, you already know.
No.
Maybe Netflix, I am sure, has already called her. Because whether this is a lie or not, she has the community in a chokehold. And yeah.
She does have a community in the chokehold. And I mean, it's perfect because it's Women's History Month. And women are, it's interesting just seeing.
Mother.
It's interesting seeing the evolution of women. And how it is just a hot topic. She is definitely ruffling feathers and also building traction. And so again, you know, if you haven't gotten into it, we talked a little bit about it in Tonya's tea, but the Tisa, Risa, Tisa, T with the Re and the Re with the T. Y'all gotta check her out. That was
Do not start. Don't start. No, if you haven't started, don't. It's an addiction.
I'm not, because I did something that I was very proud of over the weekend. Details to come, and I'm glad that it didn't have me in a chokehold because I was able to finish something I've been working on for a long time, and I'm very proud of myself. But I think I was spirited by Women's History Month, and I started reflecting and writing about the women in my life that have influenced me. And I started with my family, and I think that I was lifted up on my ancestors' wings with that energy to complete a task that I had been working on. And I stayed in the house, Dr. Dani, all weekend. I did not leave my house from when I got home on Friday until yesterday for a brief time.
Nice.
Yes, it was a mental health weekend, and I needed some time with me, and it was good.
Hey,
I love that. That's awesome.
She's winning. She's winning, Jason.
Look, I'm curious about how everyone is doing with their self-care. As we are in we're getting ready to close out the first quarter of this year. We're in March, so very curious about how you are handling your self-care so far in this year. We're getting ready for our conversation, but drop in the comment section how you are managing and handling your self-care. And I think it would be fitting, since it's Women's History Month, Tonya, if you want to give us the question for the day. Welcome to Women's History Month, y'all.
Welcome to Women's History Month on the I Win Morning Show. And the question for the day is, what woman or women other than your mother have influenced your life greatly? What woman or women in your life have influenced your life greatly, impacted your life, other than your mother?
I'm curious to hear people's responses.
Other than someone in your family, mama, big mama, auntie, and them. Someone outside of your family that has influenced. You can mention their name as well, but who else has impacted your life? Was it a teacher? Was it an employer? Was it a soror? Was it a colleague? Was it your roommate from college?
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Um,
Was it your kindergarten teacher? Your principal?
it could be more than one person.
Your
Different
choir
stages in your
director?
life.
Yes.
Hmm.
A coach? Yeah. Who was it?
Well, I'll kick us off and say that I cannot remember. I will have to call one of my good friends, Tia Bryant, to figure out our fourth grade. I want to say maybe it was. No, I know who our fourth grade teacher was, but I also had a teacher that worked with me, my speech teacher, um, when I found out I had a speech impediment. So that's my specific learning disability, and she was phenomenal. I actually still use strategies from her with my students who struggled. I said struggled because they no longer are struggling with it, uh, with their speech impediments. And she was phenomenal with what she did. She had grace with me. She understood the impact of stigma. My mom is a retired teacher, so just all of those different things. She was patient. She was impactful. And I will even go to say that she was Miss Thomas. She was loving. Like she was that girl. She was very fashionable too. And I think that's why I really loved going to her class. I mean, she made it comfortable, but she was phenomenal. That's someone outside of family, because I do have some phenomenal women in my family. Shout out to everybody in my family.
You do.
But she is one of the very first people that I would think of.
I wrote in the comments Miss Plaxico, who was my fourth grade teacher.
Oh, okay.
And Marva Collins. And Miss Plaxico, I don't know what it is about that fourth grade, but Miss Plaxico was an amazing teacher. She was just phenomenal. I spent the night with her. I think I told y'all about that one time, and we went to a concert. Now, don't y'all try to shame Miss Plaxico. I don't know why we went to the Johnny Guitar Watson concert, but that's where we went. And we had fun. And I forgot my uniform on purpose, I think, because I wanted to wear my little dress clothes at school. The next day I went to a Catholic school. And I was playing with her chihuahua that morning, and chihuahua peed in my lap.
I'm sorry.
On the way to school. And Miss Plaxico stopped. I took my little skirt off. It was velvet too, y'all. She got, she did a little scrub, and I had to still have that little spot. And then my mom met me at school with my uniform. And then Marva Collins, because I'm a native Chicago, and I feel like I'm native to Memphis and Chicago, born in Chicago, raised in Memphis, and have lived in Atlanta the longest. But Marva Collins does not get enough credit. She was the first to start a school. She was a Black woman in one of the worst neighborhoods in Chicago. She did not play. She was intelligent. She was fierce. She was always well dressed. And my mother and one of my aunts were educators in that same scene and era, and in Chicago. And she always reminded me, I feel like she was a family member. But if you don't know who Marva Collins is, you should Google Marva Collins' story. So those are the two women outside of the phenomenal women in my family, my mother and her four sisters, who influenced my life.
Okay, so shout out to teachers. I love that. Dr. Dani, who comes to mind for you?
That's a long list, but I will say my sister. Definitely my sister. My sister is Rochelle Burr, and she is my younger sister. And we're 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days apart. Wow. And I have to say that because I think we kind of in some way have been living a life of twins, but we're really different.
Twins.
But I say my sister because I think to me she's like a mirror where I see like some of the best qualities in me, but I also see through her who I aspire to be. And it's really like a beautiful relationship because we are polar opposite. And so to be able to see that, it's almost like, I don't know, it's a double blessing. But my sister is a everyday ordinary person who tackles everything with stride. And I constantly am like this, like, how she do that? You know, two amazing boys, a great husband who, again, they rally around her, but it's because she knows how to communicate. She knows how to call people in when necessary. This woman is running her own business, has been running it for years and holds it down. But she's also extremely active, one of those active parents in school with her kids. And she's taking care of my dad, you know, with me. And I mean, it's just, my sister's awesome. And it's her birthday. It was her birthday yesterday. So I just
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rochelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pisces season. I love that. I love that your younger sister is the person that you named as having the most impact and influence, one of the people to have the most impact and influence over your life. I love that.
I love that too. Yeah. And major shout out, because this is like the first time that we actually heard in more detail about the impact of your sister's awesomeness. I want to give her that word for today, her awesomeness. And I'm glad that the people had that opportunity to hear more about her. So I'm super excited that for Women's History Month this year, she's had this moment. Yeah, I want to throw up the ATL sign and just go in.
Like now I want her to have a cameo and we bring her in. Rochelle.
Yes.
You know, we always go too far, but now, you know, we want to.
She'll pop up at some point. She'll pop up.
Yes.
That would be super. Women in business. Women in business. I would love to, you know, everybody get a sister friend or a sister to come on and talk about their business. I love that. Now listen, guys.
Let's do that for March. That's a done deal.
It's Women's History Month. Yeah. It's whatever. This is every month we're celebrating women, and you guys know this. We celebrate Black history, women, you, me, everybody, all the time here on the I Win show. But this is Women's History Month, so whatever Dr. Dani and Tonya want for this month, hey, we doing it. I am very curious though, from those who are tuned in.
We getting together this week because you listen.
Okay.
Dr. Dani. Now let me tell you, I was reading some people's comments. We don't have a lot of people on, we do have people on, but not commenting that much this morning. But Raymond, and this is just an ode to the good old school Black community. Raymond Burke Allen said, Mrs. Maybelline Truesdale. Now, Miss Maybelline Truesdale sounds like somebody, if you watch, you know, if you have grandchildren or children that watch these like Paw Patrol, she sounds like a character off of there. But Maybelline Truesdale, which was his former boss in Miami, director of grants, was the one who saw in me that my talents were more suited to affect lives of students versus sitting in a cubicle crunching numbers and from there enter the classroom. I want to give a shout out for two reasons. One, those old school educators, many of whom we just spoke, who had the ability and the power to see the talents and the gifts, because they were really vested in education of who could go where, right? It wasn't about who you were related to. It was surely based on merit and your gift that they saw in you to say, let me bring you along. And then, baby, the names. Honey, listen, one thing about it, even though we were stripped of our culture, many of us, we came to this country and our original names, I'm going to say, sometimes people say, oh, that's ghetto, or why would they name that person that? I think it's in our DNA to continue to try to be different or to choose different names other than the traditional names or the more European names, because now I'm not going to say, now Maybelline was named after a cosmetic line, but again, May, and I'm sure they called her May, it's different. But we know a lot of Maybellines. And it wasn't spelled like that. Miss Maybelline, Miss Maybelline. It was either a lean, a Lee, or an Ann on the end of a name. And again, women, baby, with those strong names, that strong work ethic, and that strong sense of community.
That's good. I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna ever reveal my middle name on here, but it's a strong, old school name. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Remind you of a church mother or a deacon.
Should we guess? Should we play that game? Should we guess?
Let's play that game. My guess is Gertrude because I love Gertrude and I just love that. But
it is not. That's my grandmother and my aunt. What'd you say, Daddy?
Gwendolyn.
It is not Gwendolyn. Oh no, it's not that good.
Okay, we got one more guess for Tonya's middle name. I see that we are.
Y'all can guess in the comments.
Yeah, there's Thelma.
Yes.
Oh no, Luella. No.
Luella.
Thelma. No. Okay, let me think. That.
Wait, Cuz, what's the letter it starts with?
I will not. No.
You have to.
Okay.
We'll never guess.
You're gonna guess if I tell you the letter.
Okay, fine.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
there's
Sherry.
Another Gertrude.
Gertrude is a wonderful name. My grandmother and my aunts were both named Gertrude. Gert, honey, good old Gertie May.
May.
Tonya
Lucille. Somebody say Lucille? No, we said
the initial is in my email address.
Oh, it is. Now I gotta try. Okay, listen.
Go ahead and get it, Jason.
Give us the letter. It's still. Listen, while we have people guessing what the middle name is, I want you to also tag in women who have impacted your life in this conversation. We are kicking off Women's History Month. We want to, and I'm like, now we ain't gonna get silent about celebrating and honoring and highlighting women. And everything that they're doing in our lives. So, brothers that are tapped in, I know that Dr. Raymond gave us someone already, but I'm also thinking about others who are tapped in. Give us a woman outside of the immediate women in your life, grandmother, mother, aunties. We always hear these stories from a lot of people, but we want to hear about women who have impacted your life, maybe in or out of school, in the community, at your church. In an organization, somebody that you may have watched their television show and were inspired by them. Let's hear it, and also tag in people. Now, anime is inspiration. God bless you,
Rita Amabude Barnes. Okay.
Yeah.
What anybody that you guys ever worked with that you had a great impact on your lives? Any woman?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Dr. Dani.
Well, I mean, I'll start off with my current colleague, Martha Caldwell. She is my iChange partner, co-founder of iChange Collaborative. And what I love more about this relationship is it's the one that you just never expected. You're like, whoa.
Those are the good ones, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily start off as friends. You start off as associates or a mentor-mentee relationship, and then it evolves over time into like family. It's like beyond friendship, it's family. And so through her, I have learned, but have also had the ability to teach. So we're doing that cross mentorship thing, and we learn from each other.
Peer mentors, I love that.
Peer mentors. Thank you.
Love
we have definitely very different identities. So she's an older white woman. I'm a younger Black woman. But she's been a mother, a teacher, all of these things. And so I feel like she has really poured into me far beyond what she would have to, and far more than what she's probably done that she's done for everybody or anybody. But she's a teacher by design, so she's used to pouring in. But I feel like I got the good. Like I got the good stuff. I got all the stuff, all the secrets, everything that's in here, because we talk all the time. I'm getting and I'm writing it all down. She's got stories.
I love it.
I love that. Women's History Month is important. It's interesting that you have two, back to back from Black History Month. We go right into Women's History Month. And, I love that we celebrate and have a targeted time to celebrate, but it also always brings me back to the fact that you have two groups of people who are very rarely traditionally celebrated, right? And I say I'm going to go back and say not rarely celebrated, because we celebrate our Blackness 365, and women have catapulted um, out from, they were edging it up before COVID, but since COVID, catapulted in the area of entrepreneurship, and owning their own businesses as top earners. And it is a testament to, you know, the resiliency of who we are as women, right? You just talked about your sister and how she's able to be a mother and a wife and a sister and a caregiver and a business owner.
Yes.
So many things that we are able to do. I always say that as women, we are able to give birth to many things, whether we birth an actual child, we birth conglomerations, we birth communities, we birth ideas and companies, and we birth movements, right? So we are always that nurturing, whether you have actually given birth to a human being, that nurturing is in you, and it always comes out in some way. I know so many of my friends who teach who are not mothers. They don't even desire to be, but they love on and nurture those children, right? And it makes me think about, and Jason, I'm gonna go off task.
It's okay, go off task.
Surprise. And say, without going into greater detail, that when we talk about all the things that Dr. Dani named with her sister, even with Dr. Dani coming on this morning and saying, you know, when you want to be quiet and you want to be still. Last week show, we were all a little heavy. And when we got off the show, we had a moment with each other as a team where we expressed some things, right? Personally with each other. And I'm not going to go any further than that, but to say that it is hard when you are, it's challenging when you are called to do a certain type of work. And those of us who do this work are heavy almost all of the time. And we're helping people and we are building things. But then what about us? And what about taking time for us? And so I commend us as a team for taking a moment, for being present in that moment, and then throughout the week, just checking on each other. But I will venture to say, doing the things that we needed to do for ourselves during this week.
Yeah, very good.
I know it prompted me to make a much needed doctor's appointment and actually go and keep the commitment to myself. And so this week, I didn't do what I didn't want to do. If I felt pressured at work to do something, I said, listen, I don't have that this week. I will have it next week, right? I'm having a rough time this week. It'll be better next week. So it just prompts us. Women do a lot, you know, speaking of Women's History Month. But what I would challenge everybody on this call or on the show or listening, or if you play it back, do something for the woman or women in your life to alleviate a little bit of their load in this month.
That's good.
I'm not talking about giving them flowers. We can give them flowers. We love flowers. I mean, I say that. Not just giving flowers, but actually sitting and talking with that person or those people and asking, how are you, right? How can I lighten your load? And I challenge us to not just say Black women, period, mothers, aunts, community members. Oh, I'm fine. I don't need anything. I want you to be real. I want you to ask somebody that question. I want us to be present in that moment and say, I need this, right? So again, the challenge is for everyone in earshot to find that one woman or a couple of women in your life this month and see how you can lighten their load.
Tonya, can I add to that? I think
yes.
I love what you just said. I also would add to that challenge that if you've got a person who's here or in heaven, make this an opportunity to tell them what you've learned from them. Like tell them, you know what? I just wanted to let you know a lesson that I learned from you. I think that, you know, people love to hear that they made an impact. And often it's not the people who are on the pedestals, they're the people behind the scenes doing
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the work. But if you pull somebody to the side, because I know I love this when somebody says, Dr. Dani, I listened to what you said the other day. I want to say thank you. There is nothing like the feeling of being listened to.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like it. So, like, giving flowers, but words.
Yes, I love that. We got challenges this week. And then I'm going to say, Dr. Dani, since Jason just said it's on us. We get to do what we want this month.
Yes.
For the next I'm so sorry because somebody's alarm is set to wake up and they're already awake. But getting back to it, for the next 3 Mondays, we're going to issue you a challenge. Yep.
Yes.
We'll see how you do with that challenge. I said for Women's Month, that was one of them, right? Dr. Dani and I just named 2 things that you can do. We're going to have another one for you next week because it's all about women, and it may not be giving or anything like that, but we'll have another challenge for you to just show support for the women in your life.
All right, so it's on Tonya. Let's do this. Jason, what's one lesson you've learned from Tonya?
Oh, one lesson I've learned from Tonya. That is a good one. Now I only have to pick just one. I would say a lesson that I value from Tonya is to be comfortable with your assertiveness. I feel like both men and women are taught not to be assertive, especially Black people. So to be reaffirmed that it's okay to be assertive, I think that's awesome. And she was one of the very first people who was like, oh yeah, no, don't adjust, how you are. Be who you are, and people will just have to fall in place. And that will be one.
Okay. I think mine would be, you never have to look like what you're going through. That is a classy lady right there.
Why are you gonna make me cry?
It's one of the many lessons.
Wow, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would say that it is good to celebrate women because we should. I mean, it's very simple. We should. And I also think that it's challenging for people to celebrate women because of the notion that we have this Black girl magic movement and it's always, girl power. And I'm like, well, you have to think about Tanya's point earlier about why we needed to have a Black History Day week, month, why we need to have a Women's History Month to bring awareness, but how do we make this a part of our lifestyle? So I'm honored to allow for this month people to be able to grow and learn how to listen more to our women.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tamika. I love Tamika.
Thank you, Tamika. I was just thanking all 3 of you guys in the comments. Thank you so much. Jason, I'm gonna take it from Dr. Dani and point it to you. What have you learned from Dr. Danielle Stewart?
Let me tell y'all, Dr. Dani, both Dr. Dani and Tonya and I, we go way back. I was just looking yesterday at a memory from our UCAN fellowship. And I was just like, wow, this is such a genuine community education advocate. That was one of the very first things I remembered in hearing Dr. Dani address and talk about community issues and how we can all play a role to impact education. And even though we go years back now, seeing that she's still that same person, even though life has changed, she's still the same person that's going to show up for community and realizing that community is different for everyone. So I just remember that's a very early memory, and it actually just came up on my phone yesterday. So that's being a genuine person is one of the things I would definitely say about Dr. Dani.
Thank you. So sweet.
Jason, talking about how far back we go, I believe I met Dr. Dani before you did in DeKalb with Steven at that Pizza Hut that you all held. It was a college
prep.
Prep. It was students. There were parents there, and I was very impressed.
Awesome idea, Dr. Dani.
And I don't know if it was before or after, but I think it was before we did the thing at Ivy. And
oh yeah,
I was so impressed with her. I invited her, and she actually came. And we talked. We did a session with my parents when I was doing a parents workshop, and it was something about sitting there. One thing you said about her genuineness, but it was her love of. What I learned is to be able to love and bring in all of the community, no matter what the community looks like. How to commune in a way that is inclusive. And I think she was my first real DEI lesson. Like she was showing me what DEI looked like, right? And I didn't know the name of it. I didn't have a name for it, but it was her ability to draw a very multifaceted crowd of people together. Wow. And her genuine love of community and DEI work. So when I started putting a name to DEI, I was like, oh, that's Dr. Dani. Like I know that work because I know a person that introduced that work to me before it became a thing. And this had to be maybe 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, 2018. So I remember that picture popped up. I was trying to find it in my phone real quick because you had the little flags up, and I had the little flag up in my little picture. So
that doesn't seem like a long time ago.
It doesn't.
2018. Oh yeah, that was just yesterday though, Tonya.
But it was.
It is 2024, which is I'm like, wow, I keep forgetting that it is 2024. Wow.
Longer. Seems like I've known you much longer, but
yeah,
it's always just been a healthy admiration for someone doing the work and not just doing it, but living it.
Yes.
Yeah. So just a genuinely authentic person that has a genuine love for community that makes me, love you even more. And then just your commitment to humanity, I would say.
Yes. I love that.
Yes, it's sweet.
And Jason, the thing I love about you, there are a litany of things. The main thing is your sincerity. I opened a card just the other day. I don't know how long it's been in my mailbox. I'm guilty of that. And it was a handwritten card to me. And it was timely and beautiful. Not too long ago, I opened a handwritten letter. There are so many fake ass people in this world. I'm sorry, can I say that on the morning show? The A word.
It just came out of nowhere, but I was like, okay, I'm awake. I'm here.
I apologize if you're listening with your child. But your sincerity, your friendship, your love is just unmatched. To know you is to love you, unless you are a person that you are advocating against. Then that's on them. And I pray for them. And God bless them. But you are such a sincerely loving human being. And I appreciate that so much in my life. And we go back to 2012. But it feels like we've known each other much longer than that. So Jason's sincerity and his genuine love, he is going to bring the family together, honey. At large community, and if you get the chance to be in a personal family, then you are truly blessed. But I would say that these handwritten notes, honey, keep them coming. Yes, keep them coming. I love it. It's so much. Selflessness is unmatched. Yes, Ray. Yeah. Love me some JBA.
Right. I would say for Jason, one of the things that amazes me about you, Jason, you pay close attention to the littlest details. I mean, and it's like those little things make such a large impact. And since we're talking about Women's History Month, that I would say in general is what women do. Like we go the extra mile, and we're always fussing at people about, men like, you didn't even notice. No, Jason notices. Jason, you will dot every I, cross every T. I mean, again, you could send a card that's got, two sentences, but you write a little book, and it's like you have no idea that every one of those words that you write, it's felt like the depth of the heartfelt letter that you write. Like it's every word that you put on that letter that's handwritten means so much. And so the detail of that, and that is not only the detail, but it's a constant, it's consistent. I have never felt like you have dismissed me as a woman. You have always positioned yourself to use your platforms to consistently bring us in and to amplify voices. And that kind of care that you show for your mother, for the woman in your family, is really how you treat women in general. So I just want to say thank you for that. We need more Jasons in the world.
Thank you. Listen, that's my daddy. That's Poppy. Looking at how the men in my family, Uncle Robert, who has passed on, just looking at Uncle Jane, how they treat their wives, how they raise their daughters, how they pulled us aside as young men and was like, listen, brother, you think you want to be a player, but we respect women. This is what you should do. It was never a it was never a second guess. It was a way of life for us. And so I center myself in making sure that if we don't do anything, we are bringing everybody together. Black men can't be their best without Black women. And that means Black children, and that means Black seniors and Black elders in our community. And so I do say that. I wish that there were more men, honestly, who were on here celebrating the mother of their children, and that girlfriend that stood beside you when you were doing some things you shouldn't have been, doing. We hear these stories from women, but this is what I tell my brothers: no, you should be celebrating the women in your life, because you may have gotten the contract and the resources to go and be this millionaire, billionaire, shot caller, baller, all of the things that the songs say, right? But it was somebody there. Most times, we hear these stories from women all the time. I was there when it was rock bottom. I was there when you needed somebody to be a listening ear. We celebrate wives, but a lot of times we discount girlfriends and partners and those who also stood in the gap. And it's like you went and wifed somebody else, but I was the one who was, you talking about praying. I'm like, well, let me call my grandma. No, she's up. And what did you do? Because we're not even married, but I believe in you. I'm trying to carry you through. I wish that we would hear more of our brothers even just speak these stories, because it's normally, or a lot of times, it's women who are carrying those loads, but we hear the stories from women. We don't hear it from brothers. So I want to put that out there as a way to say, hey, brothers, again, go back to the initial question of this conversation. Who are women outside of your immediate family that you can celebrate and uphold and say, like, I think about it. That woman who was like, oh, this social worker won't let you see your child, but remember that teacher that would be at recess, like, okay, listen, if you stand over here by the gate, I'll make sure that I'm standing here so they can play, so you can at least see your child. I'm just saying we should have so many stories of women that we're celebrating. So as we're coming to a close, make sure you go back. Tonya, Dr. Dani, you want to give them their marching assignments for this week one last time before we close out today.
I say refer to Jaheim, honey, and put that woman first. In summary.
Baby, listen. I can't even come behind. That was one of my favorite songs, and that was the era. First of all, you took me back, and I had to push that thought out of my mind. It was not. We're not on that. But
celebrating women.
If it wasn't for he's everything. Yes, baby.
Yes. How were you putting women first in your life? Again, the fathers that are watching, the teachers that are watching, brothers that are watching, viewers, how are you helping celebrate the women in your life? How are you putting them first? We want to know. I'm also really curious about how schools are celebrating women. I didn't really see a lot of Black History service projects. Of course, we saw the celebrations, and I love what the kids are doing in the schools, where they come in and they are really celebrating our ancestors. But I didn't see a lot of service projects. So I'm wanting to see how we're celebrating women this month, and what are the service projects? What are we doing? What are the actions behind this? And again, we have a lot of bills being passed under gold domes across the nation that are impacting women in a negative way. So I want to see how we're also standing up again to support women for this month. All right,
Dr. Again, the call to action was, how can you lighten the load of a woman in your life, a woman that you know, in this month, this week? Tell us, come back and tell us next week. Also, come back, you can write it. If you're viewing this later than the live show, you can type in there, how can you lessen a load for a woman this month? And and Dr. Dani said to go and tell a woman that what you learned from her, right? How you appreciate what you learned, what they taught you, what your relationship has meant to them, and what they've taught you, right?
Yes.
And I love that Tamika said in the comments, I will never forget arriving to Atlanta, and Jason took me in his car and drove me around our cluster neighborhoods to teach me the places I needed to be aware of, a total protector of women.
That's Jason.
And that is Jason B. Allen. So stay tuned next week, where I might reveal what my middle name is, Ray. I'm gonna keep you in a chokehold all week.
Yes. Tune in next week for Tanya's middle name. But tune in tomorrow evening at 6:30 for our Let's Get Real National Town Hall. Go to nationalparentsunion.org to get connected. It's going to be live on Facebook, StreamYard, YouTube, but I want to make sure that you are connected to that conversation. So, guys, it is time. We love you. We are celebrating women this month. We are celebrating Black History all year. But right now, it is Wakanda Forever. We are out and love y'all.
I do not own the rights to this music, but
we got to go. Happy Women's History Month.